He thought I was the perfect fool. Quiet, trusting, completely blind to his world. He had no idea I'd seen every single message, heard every whispered call, and watched every one of his lies unfold right before my eyes. And when the time finally came, I made sure his betrayal would be the very thing that destroyed him. Quietly, perfectly. That night, rain poured over London, streaking against my apartment windows like tears the sky refused to hide. I stood there, watching the red lights of his car fade into the distance, knowing exactly where he was headed. It wasn't the late-night meeting he's sworn he had, it was her flat. Her flat in Kensington. But my heart didn't shatter that night. It froze. Every whispered giggle I'd overheard on the phone, every flimsy excuse he'd given me, carved itself into my memory until the pain turned cold, almost surgical. I poured myself a glass of red wine, the same kind he used to bring over when he wanted to celebrate us, and whispered to myself, "You're not leaving me, Michael. Not like this." He truly believed I was the gentle, forgiving type. The kind of woman who wouldn't fight back, who'd just cry and let him go. He had no clue I'd been documenting everything. Photos, messages, receipts, all of it neatly organized in a single folder on my laptop. I wasn't planning heartbreak. I was planning history. Michael and I met back at King's College, both of us ambitious and wide-eyed. He quickly became a rising star in finance, while I built my own career in marketing. To the outside world, we looked like London's golden couple. You'd see us laughing at Chelsea cafes, taking weekend trips to Bath, flashing matching smiles for Instagram. But behind the perfectly curated photos, the cracks were starting to appear. His absences grew longer, his temper got sharper, and that intoxicating charm of his, it started feeling rehearsed. Then, she appeared, Amelia Clarke, his supposed business partner. She was beautiful, polished, and dangerously clever. I knew her type instantly, the kind of woman who takes immense pride in winning what already belongs to someone else. Everyone around us saw perfection. Only I saw the performance. And while Michael thought I was just blissfully ignorant, slipping further into denial, I was quietly building my stage. The stage where he would perform his final dramatic act. I started small, recording little details. His lies about working late, the unfamiliar scent of cologne on his shirts, the hotel charges he tried to pass off as client meetings. Every time he smiled at me, I smiled back even harder, hiding the fury behind flawless eyeliner. When he'd leave for his so-called business trips, I'd visit the same hotel, check the register, and find his name right there, right beside hers. The staff remembered him well. But instead of confronting him, I did something else. I invited him to dinner. Candlelight vintage jazz playing softly in the background, his favorite dish steak with rosemary butter. I played the part of the perfect doting girlfriend, and he completely relaxed, totally unaware that every single word he said was being recorded. He told me he wanted a future with me. I almost laughed out loud. That night, after he left, I transferred copies of every single file to a private cloud. A week later, I pretended to find an empty ring box in his drawer. "Oh, Michael," I gasped, my eyes wide with fake surprise. Were you going to propose?" He froze. He looked absolutely terrified because the box was empty. He stammered, claiming he'd lost the ring. But I already knew exactly where it was on her finger. I'd seen it in a mirror selfie Amelia had posted to a private account, one she didn't realize I had access to. I kept my act perfect. I let a single tear roll down my cheek and gave him a trembling smile. "It's okay," I said softly. "I can wait." Inside I felt nothing but cold, hard clarity. He was planning to marry her. I was planning to bury his career. I sent Amelia an anonymous message. Just a few simple words. "He's yours now. Check his clients list." Attached were screenshots detailing his real business laundering money through a series of fake charity accounts. By the next morning, his company's legal department was already knocking on his door. But that was just the opening act. The real show was yet to start. Michael stormed home later that day, completely panicked and furious. You don't understand. They're accusing me of fraud. I just looked up from the sofa, calm, almost bored. Maybe you should talk to your lawyer, love. He stared at me, and in that moment, he finally realized that I wasn't shocked. I was satisfied. Then came the knock on the door. The police. As they led him away, his eyes begged me for help. Please, Anna, I'll fix everything. I leaned in close, so only he could hear me, and whispered, You already did. You fixed me. He never saw the folder I'd sent anonymously to the authorities, the one containing proof of every dirty deal he'd ever made. Amelia, predictably, disappeared the same day, leaving him to face the consequences all alone. For months I had played the fool, but tonight I was the author, my story, my justice. It's been a year now. I moved to Brighton, right by the sea. The nights here are quieter. There are no lies, no pretending. Sometimes I walk along the pier and think about how close I came to completely losing myself in his web of deceit. People say revenge doesn't heal you. They're wrong. It doesn't heal you, it transforms you. I didn't destroy him out of hatred. I did it because love, once it's been betrayed, becomes something much sharper and more powerful than pain. He thought I didn't know. But I knew everything, and knowing was my power. Now, every single time I see the sun rise over the water, I remind myself, forgiveness is overrated, but closure? That's priceless. So, what part of this story hit you the hardest? Was it Anna's calm, calculated revenge or Michael's ultimate downfall? Let me know down in the comments, and tell me what you would have done differently. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories.